Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Connection Live. We're so glad you're all here with us today. We will be talking about something that I think is going to be really fun and timely for the holidays, and that is looking our best to feel our best, whether it's through makeup or skincare or whatever else we need. We are joined today by Caroline Ashton. I think she's working on getting her camera going. So in the meantime,
I'm frozen.
There you are.
Oh, here I am.
Good
Hey,
morning.
sorry.
How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thank you. It's so good to have coffee with you this morning, and welcome to Coffee Connection Live. I would love to kick this off by having you share with us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, thank you so much for inviting me here, and happy Veterans Day to everybody. My story with makeup artistry and how I got to, I guess, my position today it's very connected to how I grew up. And I grew up in a really big family. So I'm the youngest of 12 kids. And yeah, a lot of kids, a lot of chaos. And I grew up on a farm in Washington State. And because my family, people have this imagined idea, if you come from a huge family, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like, yeah, it sounds great, but it's really hard to have a lot of peace in that type of environment. And the way that I escaped was through art. I was really creative at a young age, and I started wearing makeup way before my friends did, because I loved how it made me feel when I did it. So the process of getting ready was always really fun for me. And basically I started wearing makeup in like elementary school, I want to say. Like my mom let me do like certain things, and I just loved it for the creative aspect of it. And I started doing prom makeovers and like weddings and things like that, like starting in middle school. And so from there, I kind of just like, everyone said, oh, you're going to go into makeup artistry. And I didn't really like think that that was a career. And then, as time went by, college, I was going to college, and I knew that college was not like the right step for me. And I was really focused on doing freelance artistry for like video shoots and runway at that time. I lived in Seattle then, in my early 20s. And then I realized that I could probably do makeup full time, and it'd be a more successful career than I could do anything that I study in school. So I really poured my heart into what I did. I moved to Los Angeles, um, and like it kind of connected with Lancome because I needed a full-time job, and retail cosmetics was like a completely unknown world to me. It was never my goal, and it also wasn't really my goal to be a celebrity makeup artist either. So I didn't really know how it was going to look. So I just, one of my friends asked if I wanted to start freelancing for the brand, and I definitely needed a job, because if you've ever gotten a parking ticket in LA, your your savings goes by pretty quickly. And so, through help of friends, and I've made a lot of great friends with working at L'Oreal and within Lancome. Um, I've also gotten a lot better at doing makeup artistry in that way, and I've learned a lot from just doing what I do on a daily basis and just practicing all the time. And like that's kind of how it worked. I didn't really like, I love creative things and I love art in every way. And makeup just seemed to make a lot of sense at the time. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do this, and it worked out.
I love that. So how long have you been living in LA, and how long have you actually been a celebrity makeup artist?
Well, I started working with runway designers from Project Runway. I want to say around 20, and I'm now 35. So 15 years I've done a lot of professional, I guess what you would call professional I'm self-taught though. A lot of artists are, but it's kind of an industry where you don't stop learning. So if you want to take a course or something, it's just, you can go and get a degree. That's one way of doing it. That's for sure. But your learning never stops there. You continue to do that. And I can't remember like the first celebrity that I worked on. Like I said, I was never it was never my heart or intention to do famous faces. I loved art, so I knew I would be happy in the career. But I think the first like one that I did completely by myself, where they just only sent me, usually I have someone with me to help, was Patricia Arquette. That was about 5 years ago, where I did hers by myself. But usually we go as a team. People who are celebrity artists as well usually have like assistants that go and help them, because if they're doing something like red carpet or runway, something like that, then they're going to need a lot of help with like time restraints. Like you might only have 30 minutes to do someone's makeup, if that. So you need help with like brushes and like grabbing products and things. It can get kind of hectic.
Oh, I'm sure it can be insane. And later on, I definitely want to talk about your involvement with fashion shows. I know that you worked on a Tom Ford show recently, and I want to ask all about that because I'm sure it's a level of hectic that some of us have never experienced and never will again. But since this morning, and since I am completely barefaced, I would love to jump right in. I mean, it's 2020. Most of us aren't wearing much makeup, but it's holiday season. And whether we're doing our holidays on Zoom or whether we're actually going in person to visit our loved ones, we all want to look and feel our best. So before we start, I want to invite everyone to share their LinkedIn profile in the chat if they're watching live, so that we can all connect, because the whole point of being here is to connect with other military spouses and military people in general. And before we kick off with the makeup, I want to let everyone who's watching know that 15 of our live viewers today are going to receive a gift set from L'Oreal USA. It's from one of their many brands. We have some from Kiehl's, we have some from YSL, we have some from Lancome. So 15 people watching today are going to win a gift set from that, and we will notify you all via email if you have been selected as a winner. So without further ado, Caroline, let's jump in. What is one of
Let's start it off. So the easiest way to go into your makeup was the beauty box. So the Lancome beauty box is really what we're going to be working mostly with. Obviously, your foundation is going to be the Skin Feels Good shades. And the first product that you'll want to get to know really well is this black bottle. I love this one because it's called Genifique. It's just a serum. And so you can use it with basically any other product that you use. So if you have a mixture of different skincare products that you love, this is not going to interfere. It's actually going to just help it. So, and it's great. It's pre-measured. You don't have to do anything, because when you close it, it distributes the new product in. So you just like, if you drop it out, you close it, it comes back. So just take a full dropper of that and put it in the palm of your hand.
All right.
And a serum is like your vitamins for the skin. So everyone takes a vitamin, everyone drinks water. So your serum is like the extra vitamins. Your water is what's going to push that vitamin in. So go ahead and press on your forehead, on your cheeks, on your chin, and your nose. Okay. And then just kind of like rub and massage gently with your fingers, and get all the product off. You can even go down the neck. Okay. This is great for lymphatic drainage when you're.
Oh, I'm glad I wore a V-neck today.
Yes. It's always helpful when you do makeup. Yeah, so just blend it all in, and until you can't like blend it anymore, you're good.
Oh, it smells
and
good.
People can. Do you like it?
It does. It smells good. And I feel like I should mention, so isn't endorsing any products necessarily, but if you're following along, this was a youth activating concentrate.
Yeah, so it does what it says it does. I've used that one for like 11 years now. It's my favorite product. I will probably never not use it. It works on any ages. So this is the one that I would recommend using in the daytime. This beauty box comes with 2 eye creams, which is great. I would use this one at nighttime, this one during the day, because this one has this little surgical steel applicator. Great when products come with this. And it just applies, you just go in little circles underneath the eye area. Yep, there you go.
Press it on and.
Yeah, and you can even go underneath the brow. This is gonna open up your eyes really well. So it has products in it that depuff. So if you ever struggle in the morning like the rest of America.
The morning is a struggle.
It's like
I have kids, they go to school early. Yes.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2 little girls. They are 6 and 8. And I will tell you, my 6-year-old is more into makeup than anyone I've ever met. I give them all my old stuff, you know, when it has expired.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because as an Army family, we move a lot. And I have given them my old stuff.
I bet.
I have to tell you, the kids are kind of good at makeup.
And they're so good.
Yeah. So I was thinking of you when you said that, you know, from an early age, you were really into doing makeup, that I could totally see my little one going into this professionally. She's all about the fashion and makeup.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that you have to like fight against the most when you're an adult is the judgment you put on yourself with doing makeup. Like, you're not going to tell a 5-year-old that they're awful at what they're doing. Like, you're going to encourage them. So it's all about your own self-talk. Like, how are you telling yourself? Are you, you know, judging yourself as you do it? And you're like, oh, well, that's not very good. Like, well, who's the judge of that? Like, makeup's art, so there's no right or wrong. Laugh when it's funny, you know, but don't feel like you're not worthy to do makeup artistry because you drew outside of the lines. So I think exploring is what's so important. That's why kids are so good at it.
Love it.
All right. So you have your serum on. We're gonna skip like a jar moisturizer today and go straight to your Skin Feels Good, because that's a moisturizer. So it's color, it's your, yes. So it's your tinted moisturizer. That's like my go-to product. Any type of tinted moisturizer is so good because it has your SPF in it, it has your moisture, and you just rub it on like a lotion. So go ahead, take one pump. You pull that cap
just
off.
Pull that off. Okay. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
and
that.
Sometimes
cool.
It's so handy. Sometimes there's like little air bubbles that might get into it. So if ever that's the case, just squeeze it gently and then press the pump as you pump out.
So I did one pump. It's pretty small. Should I need more than that?
I mean, try that for now. And then if you feel like you want to add, then that's up to you. And just avoid your brow area, but you could do around just like you would apply a lotion.
Oh, this smells really good too. Okay, so I'm just putting this on.
Yeah, I love the smell of that one.
Wow, this smells super good. And this is good.
I tell you,
so many blemishes from here down from wearing a mask so much lately that this is going to cover up a lot, I hope.
Yeah, it's a sheer coverage, but what's great about using a tinted moisturizer is it's not going to damage the skin. When you have maskne, and if we have time, we could get into it, but you have to treat it like a wound, and you don't want all your wounds to just like dry out. So a lot of the time we're so harsh on our acne problems. And I know acne very well because I deal with psoriasis a lot. I used to have full-on psoriasis breakouts. And then I had to get up and teach in front of a group of people without them, really focusing on the skin. You got to focus on what's coming out of the person. So acne and things like that are so frustrating emotionally, but then also it's like the process to like cover it up is hard. So just be very caring towards those things. Treat it like a wound. Be really gentle on those things and try not to touch it. That's like, keep it clean,
really
just like you would a wound.
Okay.
So is the coverage, if the coverage is too sheer for you, you can take a foundation, which is in, I think we, did they send you a glass jar of foundation of anything, or was it just this feels good?
I got some of these. Is this foundation?
Okay. Yeah. So take the one that you think looks better and just,
I'm looking for help here. I don't know. Do I go lighter than my skin, or, I mean, what's some guidance on
I'd
foundation?
go to the one on my right, your left.
This is my left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'd go with that one. Because you're mainly, if it's going to be like covering maskne, which if you're going to be wearing a mask, like don't even spend your time down there. So like really just put your tinted moisturizer on and do your upper half of the makeup and put on, you know, I would put a powder on after, but like, because you also don't want it to breed new bacteria. So put your tinted moisturizer on, put your powder on and go. But if it's a Zoom call, you might want a little bit more coverage. So take a pump of that
Okay.
foundation.
Little air
It
bubble.
might take a few pumps to get it out.
There we go.
If it's a new
Okay. I
one.
got a little bit more that time. I feel like I need to share this with everyone so they can see if they're getting the same amounts. Okay.
And then take just like a little bit with your finger and just like apply in this area
Okay.
and just kind of pat it in.
Okay.
Like you would like if you had a sponge, a makeup sponge.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
I don't.
No worries. And then go take a tiny bit and go around the nose area, because that area also can feel irritated or get
Always.
irritated sometimes.
I
Yeah.
have like perpetual redness around that outside of my, I don't know why. So this is great.
I mean, it could be climate, it could be so many things. It's so individual. This is why going to a beauty advisor at your local like store is so helpful, whether it's a Lancome or a Kiehl's, like they do like skin diagnosis. They're not dermatologists, but if you just need someone to kind of like give you their best help, then that's what they're there to do too. Take a little amount and put it under the eye.
Okay. That's for those dark
This is
circles.
a foundation.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll help also with dark circles. So it's like, you really don't have to use a concealer if you're not used to using a concealer. And you're doing a great job. You're like putting it on perfectly.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
watching what finger
then
you're
you
using.
Yeah, I use my ring finger a lot. Just because I'm a little too forceful with my other fingers.
I've heard this is your weakest finger, so you should use it around your eye. I don't know if that's true.
I mean, it is what, like people will say these types of things. It's out of habit for me that I do it. I don't think maybe it's because it's the weakest one, but I am very forceful with my other ones. This one just seems to get the better angle for me. And then apply a little on the lid of your eye as well.
Oh, like all over the lid or just the bottom part?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from the lash line basically to the brow.
Up to the brow. Okay.
We're gonna use that as a eye makeup base today.
Oh, I feel like I might have done a little too much there, but we'll
It's okay. You can share it between the other eye.
Okay. I hope everyone's.
And it might look a little crazy. Sorry.
I feel like I should mention that I rarely wear makeup except for Coffee Connection Live. So people who've joined us before will probably see me with makeup, and you're some of the only people who have. So I am really, this is legitimate learning as I go here.
Well, it's kind of why I'm also keeping it basic. I know that your concern was like, I don't usually do my own formal makeup. So usually a makeup artist will use like a eyeshadow primer or a base, but for the sake of keeping it simple, it's not going to hurt you to just apply a little bit on your lid. And then, so how does that feel? How do you feel like it looks on you? Do you feel good?
I feel like really good. I feel like it's covering up under here. I mean, I'm about to turn 40 in a couple months, so I definitely notice a lot
of
circles, crow's feet, and I feel like already I can see myself on here, and I'm like, all right, so far so good.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That good. Okay. So now we're going to get started on the shadows, and I know that this palette is it can feel overwhelming because there's a lot there, but we're gonna keep it pretty focused. And take your brush that comes with it, the small end, and we'll start first with the lightest shadow right here. Yep.
Okay.
And take a little bit of that and just apply it underneath the brow, like you're kind of like highlighting that area.
Okay. I'm gonna get nice and close.
It's pretty pigmented, so a little bit is good. And then
Oh,
go all the way into that inner corner as well.
All the way in. Okay. Now, am I dabbing or am I like swiping?
Whatever feels good.
Okay.
Whatever looks blended to you. You want it to be soft.
I don't know if that's enough, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks good. It's more so to like set the area.
Okay.
And if for whatever reason, those of you who are following along and you're like, whoa, that looks super bright, just go to the next shade, which would be this shade right here, is probably like the next shade I would recommend.
That one there. Do I have the same? Okay. I'm looking at it reversed for some reason.
It looks
on Zoom,
totally different.
Okay.
But, and also keep in mind, light is going to pull forward, dark is going to push back. So you already have a beautiful natural crease. We don't need to put any shimmer above this area, the brow bone area, because you want to balance the eye area. You want to keep your eyelids the size that they are. You want to keep this area the size that it is. So you just want to create a little bit more elegance to the eye. If you have lids that are smaller than your eyebrow area, then you want to almost put more light on your lid area and keep this area shimmer free. But if it's the reverse, if this area is very small, put a little shimmer here so it makes it look bigger and balanced with your eye.
Okay. So kind of highlight up here versus down there.
Yeah, everyone naturally wants to go to a highlight up here, and that's not necessarily what the purpose is. Highlighting is to balance and draw in light to where you want it to hit. A lot of the times if you use, take your camera as you're doing your makeup and see the difference of how things look, and take pictures of the steps along the way. That's really how I got good at makeup, is like the photography work that I've done, working with photographers and how they have to edit things and how close they zoom in. You really figure out like what's too much and what is you need a little bit more of.
Okay.
All right, so let's take the color underneath that lightest shade. This color, I want to see, yeah. We're going to use this one as your crease color. So you're going to take just one tap of that in the pan.
Okay.
And then go to your outer corner crease of your eye, where the eye socket is, and do just little circles there, keeping the brush in the same spot. There you go.
Just little circles, keeping it in the same spot.
Uh-huh. So we're just going to create a little crease, not a big one.
I'm trying to watch myself.
If you don't, yeah, you can open your eye too. Like you can look and do it. You did a great job. Nice.
All right, and I'll repeat on the other side. I accidentally just did
all
right.
And like I said, you already have a natural crease, so you don't have to try for this one because you're kind of squinting. You don't want it to go in a different spot. So there you go. Yeah, you want to look at the camera.
Super.
You want to try and keep your eye as relaxed as possible, because every time you do a funky like makeup look like we all do, you will probably put makeup in a different spot than you did on the other side.
Okay, that's really helpful. Awesome. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna take it a little bit further and take that same shade, and you're in the crease there. I want you to just windshield wiper it back and forth.
Okay. Do I still only put color on one side of the brush, or do I do like both sides?
Up to you. I usually just tap it one time because a lot of the times what we do is I learned this from one of our national makeup artists, is we kind of like rub the brush around in the pan and then we like tap it off, and we're like, this is expensive stuff. And also we end up like feeling tortured by our eyeshadow because we put so much on. So using little amounts at a time is good. And since it's the evening look, you could go a little bit, you can put it on both sides of the brush, but you want to start definitely with those lighter shades before you go in too deep.
Okay. All right.
Good. Okay, so now let's work on the outer base. So we're going to put a little bit more smoke here, just like below where you started your crease. And I want you to take a combination of this color, the one that you were just using. So tap that once and then tap it once in this chocolate brown.
Okay. I'm trying to hold up so people can see what I'm doing. Okay, got it.
There you go. And then just go on this outer edge, press it down at the base of the lash.
The bottom
on
here?
The top, sorry.
The top, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, okay,
So
flipping it upside down.
You can flip it this way, you can do it this way. There you go. And just press it there first.
Okay.
And pull it away. I want to see how much pigment. Okay, great. If it's not that much, then go ahead and just kind of like zigzag and blend it in. There you go.
Am I staying in the same spot though?
Yep.
Okay.
Just stay there for a second. Let's see how the pigment wears. Okay, grab another couple touches of those same two shades and build it there. So what you want to do is kind of just build a little bit of smoke on the base of the lash.
Oh, I feel like
not go. It's okay. Flip the brush this way. There you go. And now blend it towards the center, but don't go past half of your shadow or half of your eyelid.
All right, I'm getting nervous here. I feel like this is more adventurous than I ever go.
That's good. Nervousness is good. I mean, you're going to feel every emotion with makeup, man. You're going to be like angry.
All right.
You're doing good.
Should I be
so
farther
just
down?
Go ahead and what's that? Oh my
Should
gosh,
I be doing the whole lid?
Good. You don't have to, no, because we're going to be adding other colors too.
Okay. Now I'll try this on the other side.
Yeah, it looks really good from here, just so you know.
Oh, thanks. Does anybody else?
Yeah, just
when they do the eyes, is that a natural thing to do? I'm like,
I still do it. Yeah, all the time.
Okay. I'm going to try to get that down. I probably
You're doing so good.
Better mirror in here, but I'm literally using my Zoom camera right now, but it's okay, right?
Oh, well, I'm impressed. You're like profesh.
I'm coming for your job. Look out. Not coming for your job. Okay.
You could probably do it. Honestly, it's really a matter of being able to talk someone through it versus, I mean, anyone can learn how to do it. Okay, so what color were you hoping to put on your lid, or do you want to take people's advice on what shade that you want to put on your lid? Or
well, I'll tell you, I have always stuck to more natural neutrals, because anytime I've ever had makeup done for my wedding or something like that, they've said to stick with neutrals. So I've never played with pinks or blues or anything that's really not a natural. So I love to play it up. I mean, why not?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Fun.
So what color are your eyes?
They're blue.
Okay, great. So when you're using cool tones, that will make your eyes look more natural than it would the warmer tones. So if you actually want to make your eyes pop a little bit more, that red is going to stand out really well. The blue or greenish blue that you have here is also going to make your eyes stand out, but when you layer a red next to the blue, you're going to see that contrast a lot more. So your call. What do you want to do? The jewel tone or the warmer
You know
tone?
what? I happened to look down and somebody said to do blue, so let's go with blue.
Okay, great. All right, so do one tap, and when you tap it, take it by going back and forth on it this way.
Okay.
There you go. And did you get a setting spray? Did we send you a setting spray?
Yes.
Something that looks like a little hairspray? Okay,
Yes.
so you're gonna take that setting spray,
All right.
uncap it,
Right.
and pump it a few times away from you so you don't spray yourself in the face.
Got it.
And then take the pigment that you pulled from your eyeshadow on your brush, and you're actually going to spray it with the setting spray.
Really? Okay. Spray the brush.
Yep, spray the brush. Just one time, okay?
Okay.
And then take that color, and I want you can hold it this way or this way. Just make sure it's close to your eyelid in the center of your eyelid here. You just want to press it down.
Now, why did we set it with that spray? I've never heard of doing that before putting something on my face.
It's an artist trick where if you want your pigment to really connect and have more of a glowing look, and then also really stay pretty well, then you're going to, it's just like a fun trick that you can use. It'll enhance the look of it, I guess.
Okay.
Really pull those colors out. So do that process again, and just this time take a little bit more of that pigment.
Okay. So I just did like 2 little wiggles of it on the color. These are my really technical, my wiggles. And then I'm going to spray it once.
And then get close to that lash line and stay on that eye that you were just working on. And go base of the lash and then press, and then go a little bit towards the outer edge where you were putting those darker shades on before.
But don't go all the way over.
You can go all the way over. It's okay.
Okay.
Now we're starting to layer it. This is where the depth will happen. Yep, you're good. Go all the way to the end of the lash line.
Okay. Wow.
Now I want you to good job. Okay, now I want you to flip the brush. And then do you see where you have that more edge at the top of the blue, green, the top of it? I want you to I want you to kind of like blend that line away.
Okay. Like, am I pushing up?
No, you're going to go at the very top of it. Yeah, there you go. Just erase it like you would a line on a page, just the edge of it. Don't take away the pigment from the middle. Just blend out. There you go.
I feel like it's going up. Is that okay to go up?
Yeah, it's totally fine. You have a lot of real estate.
I have a lot of real estate. I have a lot of.
That's a good thing.
Okay. Oh, my brush slipped. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing here, but.
Oh, you're doing great. Yeah, you're doing good. Okay, now take whatever's left on that brush and then connect that inner part and blend a little bit further in. Just don't go all the way to the inner corner of the eye.
But blend it inward.
So spread it out. So yeah, soften that a little bit. The pigmentation looks so good on here.
This is a fun color. I've been scared of blue eyeshadow. I feel like when I was growing up, my mom wore blue eyeshadow because she was doing that in the 70s and 80s. But when I tried it, I looked like I got in a fight. So,
no, this looks so good. I can see how it's going to turn out.
Okay, is that too much? Not enough?
No, that's great. So let's pause there. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side of your eye with the spray, and we'll connect all the dots in a second.
All right, so dabbed in the blue, sprayed it once, and no way to turn.
Gosh, it's going to look so good.
This is fun.
And a great rule of thumb is to, when you're working with especially darker colors, if you're doing sweeping motions, just know that pigment might collect in the inner corners or out here, and that's when you start to look like you have more of a black eye, because you're spraying the pigment everywhere. But because you've actually sprayed your brush with the setting spray, it's going to control a lot of the spray that you might get from the bristles and not spread it. So if you accidentally spread it back and forth, it won't move as quickly because you've already set it with the setting spray, and that liquid is going to help keep it connected from the brush to your eyelid.
Okay. Fun. All right, now I've got to blend this here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And it's okay to not like what it looks like in the in-between stages. Like, that's such a normal thing.
Okay, because that's what I'm getting a little panicky about. I'm like, I'm worried I look like a robot, but you are doing great talking me through this because I'm most definitely am.
No, it's all good. You're doing a great job.
Can't remember which side I had the pigment on. All right, am I ready to start blending it into the middle now?
Yeah, go from that edge and blend it to that inner corner, but not all the way into that inner corner.
So I'm curious, do you teach makeup differently for someone who's simply going to be on computer on Zoom versus do you do different looks for in person? I mean, is there something we need to consider if we're only going to be on camera?
No, I mean, I teach different based on who I'm teaching and how I feel like they might learn best. And everyone's needs are different. And I mean, I think Zoom, it's actually a lot easier to do a look for Zoom because it's like a natural filter. You can't really see what you look like, you know? And I think that's where we fall short too, is like when we do our makeup, I'm kind of glad that you don't have a mirror there with you, because otherwise you critique yourself so much and you don't realize like no one's going to be this close to your face, especially now. Like no one is going to like be looking at you so in depth that make sure you have a couple different perspectives when you do it. You have you know, a mirror that's a little further away and then a mirror that's closer up, so you can see different angles, because it's not about like those tiny little details necessarily, it's about everything together. So go ahead and take a little bit more of that pigment and put it a little closer in so you get it to match.
Yes, I was noticing that was pretty uneven.
Well, it's interesting because I mean, they both look great, but individually, but your eye will get caught off guard. Your eye is so used to looking for imbalances. So
yes,
that's so perfect.
Better?
Oh my gosh, looks so good. So that's why, you know, that light is really going to pull forward and dark's going to push back. Now take this color that we used for your crease and take it on your brush and do that windshield wiper motion again.
On the crease.
On the crease, yep.
Okay. Oh, I just did the blowing up of the eyeshadow thing. It is, we tap and we blow. All right.
Yeah, that's your transition color. So if you think of it that way, you're transitioning those darker shades and blending it. You're doing that ombre look to that lighter shade on the brow. And it's okay if you go past your brow bone. You actually almost want to go past your brow bone because you don't want it to look disconnected from underneath the brow to your eye crease. So go ahead and take that color all the way and blend it all the way up.
Okay, so I should probably turn it.
Yep, whatever way works best for you.
All right, I saw somebody ask what color you're wearing on your eyes. Is it one of these that we're working with?
Yeah, actually, I'm using the same palette. I started it very similar. I actually used the black to do it versus the chocolate brown as much. I used the black, and I used the black like all over my lid versus you're using more of just like the jewel tones.
I would have never even thought that black was a color for eyeshadow. And it looks amazing on you. It's that dramatic.
Oh, thank you.
that we all covet.
And when you look at yourself, I know we won't be looking up your nose, but try and like, rather than closing your eyes, try to look at yourself at this angle so you can see, yeah, so you have a smoother, there you go.
I feel like, and again, I can't see in a mirror, but on camera, it looks like I've almost got a ridge right here, but I don't.
Yeah, so erase that. Take that color. And you can go further up the eye with that color. Go all the way, even underneath the brow.
Oh, somebody said
go further up.
Camera. Absolutely, girl. Thank you, Susie. All right.
There you go.
Maybe that's a little bit better. Let me look over here.
Yep.
Okay, get a little bit more of that.
It's okay to use darker shades below the brow, as long as everything blends from the shadow to the cheekbone. You want there to be a seamless coordination between your features.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
That looks so pretty. Oh my gosh, you look like you're ready for a Vogue shoot.
I wish I were.
If you wanted, do you like to wear liner on your bottom line?
I am not good at doing, I always look like a raccoon, like I can't get it right to the line. So there's
Then skip it.
And then, yeah.
You can skip it. It looks beautiful the way that you have it here. So you're ready for mascara. And go ahead. If you like to curl your lashes first, then go ahead and do that. If not,
have a lash curler with me.
Well, then you're not going to do that today. You're going to just take your primer first, though. It's the white mascara, and just apply it like a primer or a mascara.
Never used a lash primer before in my life. And is this just like a regular old paint primer where you're putting on a base coat first?
Kind of. It is like your conditioner for your hair.
Huh.
So just like we condition our hair, our lashes are hair, and they need some conditioner too.
So
and another great
just alone, like, can you put this on, before you go to bed so they condition while you sleep?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And you can even put it on your brows if you want before bed. Yeah. Another great added benefit to this cream, yeah, it's amazing, is when you're done with it, you could even put it on your lash line, and it helps fortify your lashes too.
Oh my goodness, I am learning so much. Okay, cool. So we had primer for the lashes, and now
your mascara.
A little bit.
What's that?
Do we need to let it dry, or can we just go straight on with our mascara?
You can go straight on.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to let it dry. If you have really straight lashes and you do curl your lashes, before you put your primer on, curl your lashes, put your primer on, let it dry, gently press again with your lash curler to curl it. So it'll be kind of like your hairspray to your curl, and then put your mascara on. That's something that will help keep your lashes more curly, but not important at this point for you.
Now, any tips on mascara application? I've seen people pump it a bunch of times when they take it out, and I've seen some people just do the tips. So as I'm doing this, tell me if you have some tips on mascara.
You're doing it perfectly, just the way that I would do it too. What you want to try and not pump the wand, because you're going to put air into your mascara formula every time you do that. And you don't want it to dry out faster. This should last you a really long time. Mascaras typically last, they say to change it out about every 3 months. The formula should last longer than when you switch it out.
Okay, and then you have a question. We had asked people when they signed up to join us today if they had questions, and somebody asked, just generally, how often should you switch out your makeup?
Like, I am the worst. I will tell you that I am the worst. Thank goodness I work for a cosmetic brand, because it forces you to switch things out. I switch my mascara out for sure every 3 months. I don't go past that because it's just, you don't want to mess with an open organ, you know. You want that to be really sanitary. A lot of things nowadays have expiration dates, and things like foundations have expiration dates, and those will last longer than the expiration date. The reason why a lot of them do expire is because of the sunscreen that's in it. The sunscreen is going to expire. So if that doesn't bother you, then you don't need to throw away your expensive foundation that you bought for special occasions. It's going to be fine, especially if it's a luxury brand. Like, those things last forever. I'm not going to tell you how long I keep mine, but like every couple years, just go through. If you've had something there for a long, long time, then toss it if you're not using it, especially. But your powders, if you have powders, that can breed bacteria. So your eyeshadows, throw your shadows out before anything. And if you do keep them for a long time, just spray them down with some alcohol.
Okay. That's
Yeah. And then I forgot, I wanted to put a little bit of like a highlight in your inner corner.
Okay.
So take the shade at the bottom of the palette that is more, yes, that one, and actually take your finger and your pinky finger,
Okay.
and make sure just touch it there, and then just press in that inner corner. Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And what is this doing? Is this just bringing in a little bit of light?
It'll connect the whole look together.
Okay.
And then it will bring in some light. It'll brighten it. It has a warmer tone. So if you have like darker circles, or if you tend to look darker in photos, the peach in it will pull out the warmth, and it won't look like the gray.
Okay, that's helpful. I saw that somebody.
Oh,
there's Danielle. Danielle's gonna jump in with some questions while we do this.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Liz. You're looking fabulous. Everyone in the chat agrees with me. Caroline, since you're talking about eyes and making those eyes pop, someone had a great question about people who wear glasses. Any specific thoughts around like making your eyes pop behind those glasses?
I think a great way to do it is learning a tight line technique is really good to do. So you're going to take a eyeliner, and on the upper lash line, you're going to tight line. You might want to Google that, because and like learn about it before you do it, because it can feel pretty uncomfortable when you first do it, or like it doesn't feel normal. So tight lining that lash line is really going to make your lashes look fuller and stand out a little bit more. And then I would recommend not putting too much makeup below the lash line. I wear glasses too. I just do my makeup like how I normally would. But if I'm going to be wearing glasses as a statement, then I would do lots of technique to focus on the lash line. And to do that, you want to, do that tight line technique with the liner, maybe do a cat eye, that would be fun. And then do lots of mascara.
Thank you so much. I actually wear glasses too, and I was thinking, wow, I've never thought to ask that question. So thanks
That's
for
awesome.
sharing that one. And I'm just going to really
Yeah.
quickly go back to the SPF. You mentioned that when you were talking about expiration dates on products. Someone's wondering specifically about what level of SPF to shoot for. So a little bit more on the skincare side. But this particular attendee lives in Tennessee, and she's wondering how high of an SPF should she use in the wintertime?
It's not necessarily about the number as it is about the amount of times you're applying it. So it's more important to reapply versus find something that you're going to put on and forget about. We all wish that SPF was one of those things that you just put on and leave and you're good to go. it is something that you should be reapplying. And that's why I always love the tinted moisturizers, because I like to reapply makeup. And when I do a liquid makeup, I'll reapply a tinted moisturizer because it has that SPF in it, and I know that I'm getting those sun protecting benefits. So, whatever your last layer that you put on, that's the more important layer that you want to keep in mind with the SPF in it. So if your last layer is a pressed powder that has SPF in it, then just make sure you're reapplying either with a brush, so like a brush like this, or it might come with a little makeup sponge in it too.
Well, thank you. I don't want to interrupt the beauty party going on, but I'll just throw one more that you can probably start talking about as you guys continue on with Liz's look. But we've gotten a few questions actually just about kind of skincare routines. So as you go, if you want to throw out any of your tips there, we also have a specific question about any products for oily skin in particular. So thanks, ladies.
Yeah. So skincare routine is always going to be very specific to the person. No two people will like exactly the same regimen. And if you have oily skin, things that might feel good for you are things that are thinner in texture or gel-like textures, and use more of the heavier products at nighttime, and maybe in the morning just rinse your skin with some water so you're not overproducing with oil. And you're gonna probably like powders a lot more than you like liquids. So liquid foundation or things like that might not be your thing. We do like make powder foundations, and those are always really helpful too. Just make sure you talk to someone probably in person or face to face on a Zoom to really help you out with your skincare needs, because skincare is so important, especially with your everything that's going on in the world right now. You really should be taking care of yourself, and your skincare is a great way to start doing that. And like add a product to your routine, or do something that makes you feel good, especially with your skin, not just with applying makeup, because you're going to take that makeup off at the end of the day and you're going to be like, oh no, I never took care of my skin, and it's going to leave you feeling like you didn't take care, like you missed out, or that you didn't get the things that you really needed. It sounds silly, but really taking care of your skin is so important, because it does help you with your own human needs. You're helping yourself first. And there's so many products that are good. Lancome's a beautiful brand, but we are owned by L'Oreal, and there are so many incredible skincare products. There's places like, even if you want to get into it, like SkinCeuticals is a really cool brand. And I know that there's some places that are doing online consultations. So estheticians will help you online. And a place that actually is a flagship for SkinCeuticals that I go to here in California, does online consultations. It's called The Treatment, and you could look them up online, but they do virtual face-to-face connections, and the esthetician will guide you on what the best skincare is. And there's some really good award-winning skincare specialists that are on there. And you kind of collect as you go. You don't have to spend all the money up at one time. If there's one product that you think that it's going to benefit you, then get that product, and then get the drugstore version of the moisturizer. And then as you go, continue to collect these things. Yeah.
Awesome. So
yeah.
Eyes. We're coming up at the top of the hour. If you have some extra time to finish up this look, I would love to complete.
I have as much time as you want. Yes.
Awesome. I know there are lots more questions too.
Yeah, I know. It's like we could talk about this forever. So when you slide, yes, you got it. This is such a fun palette because it just is all in one. Go with this contour shade here.
Mhm.
And I want you to tuck your hair behind your ear real quickly for me. And do you see like where your middle of the ear is?
Yes.
Right here with the cartilage. I want you to take a little bit of that powder, go back and forth, and you're going to start back here.
Mhm.
And then you're just going to go in a straight line forward. There you go. And then just, yep, you got it. And you just blend it like this. Do those little circles that you did in the corner of the eye that you're going to do there. Look how good that looks. It sounds crazy, but what this is a good one size fits all for anybody that is looking to just start with like cheek contour. Every face looks different, every face shape is different, but if you're trying to just do something quick, this is where to start. So, and then go on the other side, go back by the ear with that contour shade, and then just pull that forward.
Okay.
And you want to, the reason why you're going in a straight line is you don't want to take any space or real estate, as I would call it, away from here, because you want the balance to be here and here. So you want the light to hit evenly here and here. If you don't have a very big jaw area and you have only forehead, then you go down, you're going to take away that and you're going to make your forehead even bigger. So you want to go in a straight line and keep that space. And then you'll get to know face shapes and your own face shape and what you like as you go. And then take the lighter of the pinks here and just take a little bit of that and kind of at the back end of it above where you, right above, the same thing, go forward.
Just above where I was.
Yep. And then perfect. And then do it on both sides. Usually you wouldn't start with your blush all the way back there. That's kind of like an 80s like look, but because we put our contour shade there, it's going to look more like your skin. So you're layering it really on that like skin, so it's not going to look like crazy pink blush.
Right. Okay, so we did the one that's closer to my skin shade from the middle of the ear down, and then just above it with the blush straight down.
Yeah, and with whatever's remaining on that brush, I want you to go in between those two shades, starting from the back, and do those little blending circles to kind of connect those two shades. Beautiful.
Okay.
And do it on both sides. Perfect. You did such a good job. And then take that small end of the brush.
Okay.
And wipe it down with a tissue for me.
I've had one here with me.
And take that highlight color. It's like that gold color right here. Okay. And kind of like swoosh it back and forth. This. And then start from this part of your cheekbone. So where the light hits most. Okay. And keep it connected there and just go back and forth. You want the majority of it to land there. And then go up above a little bit with that color. And then go down. Don't go into the cheek, but just go down towards the corner of the nose. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to make this like little C shape.
Okay. So we went up the temple a little bit where the light hits. Okay.
Yep. Right. And do that on both sides.
And then up. You can see it there.
Beautiful. And something I like to do to finish everything off is take a tiny little pump of your foundation.
Okay.
One last time. And just like not even a half a pump.
Okay.
And perfect. And then connect it between your two fingers.
Okay.
And last, just kind of go underneath the eye area again to brighten, just like you did when you started. And then apply a little bit too down the nose.
Yes, my nose always looks red. I live in Florida, so
You can get more on there if you want.
Okay. I'm definitely cognizant of what the sun has done to me.
Yeah. I mean, you learn these things either like by trusting to, you know, put SPF on at like 10 years old, which
Nobody does.
who intuitively does that, or you have to deal what we deal with later in life, and that's like sunspots or redness and things like that.
All of the above.
There's ways to reverse it. Oh, you look so good. Okay. Lastly is your lip color.
Yes.
And you choose which shade would you like to do? The super bright red?
Well, you sent me two. You sent me a very neutral looking one, and then you sent me a beautiful red. And normally neutral, but today I'm going to do red because we're on and we're going fancy.
Yeah.
So
I love it. I'll do the red.
I love a red lip. There was a Coffee Connection Live we did last February where we talked a lot about a red lip and how much it can do to help a woman feel just more fabulous. So teach me how to do a red lip.
Okay. So start in the center and see where the ridge is. You want to just kind of shape and go like that. And you can use a liner too, but in this case, these reds are so safe and easy to use.
This one has a really pointy edge. I wanted to show that to everybody. So I feel like it is its own liner.
And I will go then down to the bottom.
Okay.
I never finish the full top until I do the bottom. Lisa Aldridge just posted something on her Instagram, how to make your red lip look the best. And she talks about how if you go in a straight line, you're gonna look more angry. But if you have a little bit more of a curve underneath, so if you don't have that natural dip, then you can create it a little bit by going a little further down, but you don't want to go further out. You just want to add a little bit of that pout at the, there you go.
And then just fill it in.
And then, yeah, I kind of just press my lips together before I add more product, just because like usually what I've applied on those two areas is good. And then I always take my finger. I love the look of just like a really pressed in red. There's a lot of actresses that can do that look really well. And just kind of like use your finger as your liner, but just make sure you clean your finger off between if you're like using it all over. So if you go outside the edge, the best tip I have for red lips is, say you make a mistake and you like go outside the line way too much. Take a clean finger, connect it to the top or wherever you need to like erase from, and just like keep it connected and go all the way down and pull it into the inner part of the corner of the mouth. And that will help shape your lip a lot more. Because if you have foundation on already, it's not going to stain. It will, it'll all come off in a nice straight line. Oh, you look so good. Oh my gosh.
Girl, you have,
your husband's going to be like, oh.
You have done a number on me. I mean, this is more than I've ever done for myself before, but it's super fun. And I wish we had somewhere to go. I'm going to tell my husband we need to go to lunch.
Yeah, you need to go somewhere.
With masks on, of course.
Yeah.
This has been absolutely fabulous. So I was intrigued to know that you don't have to do a liner for red. That's definitely something I've learned, because I can't tell you the last time I had a lip liner in my possession. You're gorgeous, Caroline. Your lips are already so full. And then you added that color and they just pop even more. It's amazing.
Thank you. It looks so good on you.
I do want to, I have so many questions that I want to ask. I'm a little bit bummed that we're already past time, but I'm so grateful that we still have everybody
That's
on with
okay.
us. Um, so I want to hear just a little bit about your involvement with the 2019 Tom Ford Fashion Show, and tell us what a day in the life is like, from like when you get there in the morning to when you're done at night. Because I've always heard fashion shows, you know, you don't see how crazy it is behind the scenes. And my thought is that's a kudos to the hair and makeup people for not letting it be shown. So just give us a little glimpse of what life is like when you're doing a fashion show.
Okay, so that was definitely a new experience. It was my first like major fashion show. Like it was New York Fashion Week. And so it was already a really crazy week for me anyways, because I was doing other things for work in New York. So you start, you know, in the afternoon. The show's not till nighttime. So you get there around 11. And there's a group of us from Lancôme that went. And then there was also a group of other freelancers from other brands, you know, every brand like Mac, or even just people who freelance just as their career, who don't work retail, who aren't connected to a brand. So there was lots of people there, maybe like 50 makeup artists, if you can imagine. And so it's like your job is to like pull an artist and sit them down in their chair, and that was bizarre to me because I'm not used to that. Like, you know, imagine how it feels like when you're trying to walk through a department store and someone's like trying to like pull you to like sell you something. I'm not that person at all. And so that's what I felt like. I felt like a salesperson where I was trying to get someone to sit down in my chair, but like I actually needed them to because they had to go like be in a show. So it was like kind of nerve wracking because you see everyone else sitting models down and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't sat a model down yet. And so you basically have to like go up to girls and be like, okay, let's go get your makeup done. And you're in this room. Before you even start though, the person who I forget what his name was, he's like Beyonce's makeup artist. He showed us the look, and he taught us what he wanted us to do. And so it's like he's teaching 50 makeup artists how to do this one look. And of course, we all have our own aesthetic. And like midway through, he's like, all right, everyone, I'm going to send people around because it doesn't look like these people are going to the same party.
Oh no.
Everyone was doing their own version of the look. You know, we all come from different brands. We all come from different things. We all have these different. So like, we did the best that we could with, you know, the direction that we were given, and we failed. Like, no one was doing really what he wanted, but that's okay. Like, that's kind of what happens. Like, I didn't take it as anything negative. It was more so just like, I need to understand more. And, you know, like people came around to tell you more of what they wanted or less of what they wanted. Some people have more heavy hands and they put on way too much eyeshadow or they put way too much makeup on. And some people didn't put enough. And so it's really about like, you know, understanding different people's ways of communicating too. You have to be really in tune with how others communicate. I have no idea like if my person was good or not. It was more so, do they look like they're going to the same party like he wanted? And you know, we got him there. It was really sweet. Zendaya was the star of the show, and she went around, oh my gosh, I've seen her in person a lot because I go to the a lot of the functions, but she is truly someone that is has such strong integrity and such a just like wonderful person. She went to every single model and you know, made sure they were all feeling good and comfortable. And it was funny because she went up to my model, and my model was really sick that day. She was like, had a cold. And I felt, you know, very nurturing and motherly towards her. And rather than get annoyed, like you might get annoyed because she was kind of like standoffish when Zendaya came up to her. She she like bent down and was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And my model was like, not the sweetest because she wasn't feeling so good. But Zendaya didn't know, but she also wasn't like a jerk to her either. She was like, she just looks at her and she's like, okay, great. Like just like moved on. She didn't take it personally. And she didn't give her like a funky look, but she kind of looked at her like concerned for a second and like, well, I gotta go. Like so she like moved on to the next person. But her to watch her interact is a really sweet thing. And her energy is just beautiful. And the show was so fun to watch. They did like touch-ups at the end. And do you know who Winnie is? She's the one that has two different tones of skin.
Yeah.
She was
Yep.
in the show as well. And she came to the backstage where, there was a few of us makeup artists at the end. I posted a picture of it, of this story on my Instagram. But she came back and she was like, they are using the same lip pencil on every single person and they are not sanitizing. Will someone please give me a clean like lip liner? So whoever was doing touch-ups right before they went on was not cleaning their brushes or giving like clean things. And she was like totally grossed out. And I was like, of course. So the group of Lancome artists that were kind of like lingering in behind the scenes found the products, and I was trying to push it on to someone else to do. Everyone was like, no, you do it. No, you, because it was like a little nerve wracking when she just came back there, And so I ended up doing the lips for her, and then she got pulled out again. So it looks like I did her makeup, but I didn't do her makeup. I just did her like lip liner for her. And she basically had to finish the rest, but she just took the product with her because she was so grossed out that everyone was using the same lip stuff, rightfully so.
Yeah, no, and especially now, I know that was last year, but thinking this year, people share
Totally.
anything like that, you're like, oh my gosh, no, it must be cleaned first.
Absolutely.
I want to pass it over to Danielle because I do see that we have questions in the Q&A box, and everyone has been so good to stay on, and I'm like captivated by your stories. Danielle, what's in the Q&A box that we can share?
Yeah, sure. These might be a couple of quick ones. Speaking of cleaning, how often do you clean your brushes?
Gosh, I clean my brushes often. I really do, because more so, I know it's good to be hygienic. That's a good reason, but more so because your makeup will look better with clean brushes, and that's my main motivation. Is I like it to be easy. So if it's a natural hair brush, use a gentle shampoo and a conditioner and lay it flat to dry. You don't want to stand them up because it'll break down the glue in the brush. So just shake it out and lay it flat to dry. If it is a synthetic hair, and you'll know because the synthetic hairs kind of have this sheen to it, then you just use a gentle shampoo, shake it out and lay it flat to dry. If you have a brush cleaner that you like, that's fine. But just if it's a spray, it probably has a lot of alcohol in it. So only use that like between looks, or you can do it daily, but spray the tissue, don't spray the brush, and then wipe it on the tissue. And I deep clean my brushes. If I'm using a brush once a day, I'll probably at the end of the week give them a nice bath. But at the end of using it, take your brush cleaner, apply it to your tissue, and wipe it down. Some people use face washes. Some people use only shampoos, or that you use a solid soap brush cleaner that you can get. I use a variety of stuff. So I even made my own brush cleaner during quarantine one time. So that was kind of fun to do. But yeah, just make sure you're cleaning them. It's hygienic, but also your makeup's going to look a lot better. Do it after you use it if you can. I understand no one has that kind of time these days, especially if you're the one doing all the cooking and cleaning for your family. Then just use it once a week. Deep clean is good.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And by no surprise, we're getting so many questions about eyes, right? Taking it back to the eyes, but also the eyebrows. So one question, how can you make your brows look even if naturally they're not?
I don't know a person whose brows are naturally even over 25 years old, because what happens is our face will either fall on one side, fall on the other side. We pull faces all the time, so it's okay. Embrace that, because that's a good thing. Don't feel like you're abnormal if you have one brow that's higher than the other. I do. Start with the brow that is start with the higher brow and do the base first. And then once you have that done, you can use illusions like concealer or foundation. So if you have a concealer and your brow is lower at the base, you can use a little concealer to like cancel that out. But it should start at the corner of the nose, and it should end at the connected with the corner of the nose to the outer eye lid. So like a natural proportion brow will be starting here, and it'll end like where it won't go past usually. If it does, it's fine. People are like, well, what if my brow goes like further in? It's totally fine. That's how your brow is. But the arch is, I think, more important. It should be like 70 to 75% of this body should be, before it gets to the arch, should be the brow. The tail should be about 25 to 30%. So just make sure. Otherwise, you will, if it's half and half, you're gonna look like surprised all the time, or like, that's how they paint clowns. So it's less about it looking right or wrong. It's more about the expression that you're wanting to do. If you like more of the arch, like a strong arch, that's going to be a little bit more of a sexy look. If you like more of a rounded look, that's going to be more of a softer, like a more gentle look. So I guess I would probably research it. There's so much that you can talk about with brows. I mean, the course that I teach for Lancome, half of the day we're just going over brow technique and shape and all of that. But the best thing I think that you could probably do with your brows now is get like a brow gel with a comb and just brush them. That always looks really nice. Even for guys, it looks really nice.
Thank you so much. And I'll throw our last question for today. Thoughts on the best look for over 40? She says that she's been told nothing but mascara after 40. So definitely want your thoughts on that.
Oh man, that probably came from a really upset person. Because I definitely don't feel that way. It is like, no, I don't think anyone should tell another person, give them rules. Makeup after 40, I'm going to be wearing makeup till I die, and it's probably going to get more and more and more crazy as I go. So the older I get, like, just learn how your face is aging. That's what I would recommend. And I learned that from one of my good mentors. Everyone ages differently. So as you age, you might start getting like bigger cheekbones. And if you like that, then that's a great thing. But if you want your face to look even more balanced, then put blush here, but then highlight down here if you're losing your jaw space. For your eye, it's the same thing. We talked about balancing with light and dark before. So if you're losing your eyelid here, rather than putting dark on the lid, put a light shimmer there, and then make a nice soft crease with one of those medium tone brown colors, and then keeping it really minimal underneath the brow, if anything. A good easy everyday look would be a contour look. And that's kind of what I just described there, is light on the lid, dark in the crease, light below the brow. And that's the easiest, best look for anyone who's looking to just do a natural makeup look. And yes, you can do it after 40. You can even do it before 40 if you want. I don't do age. I more so base it off of proportion and balance and the emotion that you want to portray, because that's really what you're doing. Is a look is an emotion that someone's going to really feel when they see you. So if you're looking for more of a soft look, then there's ways to create that emotion on your face. If you're looking for more of a sexy look, then you know that lined eye is what you'll want to do. But I say the best advice that I can give anybody when it comes to makeup is take away the judgment when you do it. Don't think that you can't do something, and you know, question that voice in your head that's telling you that, because like we talked about earlier, it's so about self-talk. You wouldn't tell your 3-year-old that their art project is awful. And so if you wouldn't tell them that, then you shouldn't tell it to yourself either. So that's my big advice.
Awesome. And Dana, just a question that I was going to ask you. If we want to follow you on social media and get more tips, can you share your Instagram account or Twitter?
Yeah,
Please.
I'll put it right here. You should be able to look me up this way. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn too. I know that was something I don't go on LinkedIn very often. So,
All right.
but you can find me there. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, we have gone over time, but we have filled this hour and a half. So it's been amazing. And I know that I am not the only one who appreciates the tips. I've been following along as the chats pop up, and I think everyone appreciates this help, Carolyn. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Today for giving us this opportunity to feel fabulous on a Thursday morning. And I want to take a minute and wish a happy Veterans Day to anyone who's watching who is a veteran or who has supported a veteran in their lifetime, because it is so close to Veterans Day and it's still fresh on all of our minds. I want to remind everybody that we do have a USO Military Spouse Facebook group. If you haven't already joined, look us up on Facebook. It's called USO Military Spouse. It is a private group. We just ask that you answer 3 quick questions to verify that you are a military spouse. We will post the recording from this session today in there, and you can also find it on YouTube if you just search for USO Coffee Connection Live. And speaking of, next month on December 11th, we will be doing a very special year-end Coffee Connection Live with the Hallmark Channel's Bubbly Sesh, which is their podcast to talk about all things Hallmark Christmas movies. And I don't think there's anyone alive who doesn't appreciate a good Hallmark Christmas movie. So join us on December 11th for that. We will be talking with Jax and Shawl, who host the Hallmark Channel's podcast called Bubbly Sesh. And hopefully the link for that will be in the chat box. Once again, we will be giving away 15 gift sets to anyone who joined us live today. So check your emails later today. We are so excited to be able to give those away to you. And thanks again to L'Oreal USA for donating those to the USO. Carolyn, thank you so much for being with us today. And especially—
Oh man, thank you. You look beautiful. I wish I could see everybody. And you know, if you do find me on Instagram, I would love to see if you followed along and just send me a message with your look. I would love to see your creations. So this was so nice. Thank you so much.
Share your selfies with us, everybody. You know we love to see them. You can do hashtag USOCC Live, and you can do hashtag USO Mil Spouse, and we'll try to curate those all together. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday and a very beautiful USO holiday season. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks again.
Thank you. Bye.